I'm going to make a delicious black bean soup for you. So black beans, a crucial ingredient. There's 2 cans of black beans in here, and I've just drained them and washed them. I haven't got beans that you need to soak, that's fine. And another important ingredient, I'm using a smoked chili sauce. So if you're looking for it in a health food store, they do sell it in jars called chipotle on adobo. But if you can't find it, or you don't want to make your own, you could actually just use a red chili chopped up. The spices I'm using, the herbs are 2 bay leaves and some thyme. That's dried thyme, a teaspoon of dried thyme, but you could use a little bit extra, sort of 2 teaspoons of fresh thyme if you can get it. Juice of a lime's going in. I'm going to start the cooking by charring some plum tomatoes, 2 plum tomatoes and 3 cloves of garlic to give it that authentic Mexican smoky taste. We're using an onion, 1 white onion, a litre of stock, and then at the end I'm going to garnish it with a salsa. I'll just blob on some salsa, and I'm going to make that with some fresh tomatoes, coriander, red onion, avocado and lime juice. And so there you have it. These are the ingredients for my black bean soup. I'm just going to start these tomatoes and garlics cooking. It doesn't matter if they get really charred because the skin's coming off. And while they're charring, we'll start the onion cooking with a glug of olive oil. And I'm going to put some butter in as well. And when that butter starts to foam, let's turn the heat up a tiny bit. We'll add the onion and let it slowly cook for about 10 minutes. Let's put the onion in. Turn the heat down a little bit so that can gently cook there while our tomatoes and garlic's cooking. So there's the oregano and the bay leaves. So now I'm ready to peel the garlic and the tomatoes, and they're nicely charred. I think I'll use a knife and fork because they're going to be too hot to handle. But the skin should just come away really easy, and it does. Look. If you've got more time, obviously you could wait for these to cool down and do it with your fingers. So that's the tomato. It's just got a slightly smoky char grill taste, which is lovely. It comes off really, really easily. There are the 2 tomatoes, and hopefully this garlic, I'll be able to pop it out of its skin. Still a bit hot. So now the garlic's in, I'm going to add the skinned tomatoes and my special chili sauce. Let's add a generous teaspoon of that chipotle on adobo, and we're going to let that cook for a few minutes before we add the drained beans. I'm going to season with a little sea salt, some freshly ground black pepper, lime juice, a litre of the stock, and that's just going to simmer now for 10 minutes, and then we're ready to serve it. So while the soup is simmering, it's got to take about 10 minutes, we're going to put together a quick and easy salsa which is delicious served with the soup. So we've chopped up some cherry tomatoes quite finely, and some coriander. And we've got a little bit of red onion there, and you can be as fussy as you like and cut it into tiny bits if you like, but I think I like mine quite chunky. And then the avocado, I've got a trick to show you. Take out the stone, and if you crisscross like a mango, like you're going to eat a mango, And I got this from watching Gordon Ramsay on telly over Christmas. Look, it's like a miracle. When you scoop out the flesh, you've got lots of tiny little cubes of avocado. And then into the salsa, I'm going to put some fresh lime juice. And I'll season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. And a glug of olive oil. And this doesn't just have to be for this soup. Whenever you're doing anything, fish or chicken, you could use this salsa as a kind of side dish. So all that's left to do is to whiz the soup up now and serve it. And remember to take out the bay leaves before you whiz. So these hand blenders are the best thing to use. So I've left that a little bit chunky, I don't want it too smooth. And if you don't have a hand blender, you could just pour it in batches into a liquidizer. But I recommend you get a hand blender because they're much more convenient. And this would make a great main meal, but you could also do it as a starter for a dinner party. I'm serving it with a few gluten-free corn chips. Give it a good crunch. So you just put the salsa in the middle. And I promise you that is an amazing black bean soup that you're going to love. All ready in under 30 minutes.